Oh, thank you so much for joining us. We are so sorry. We apologize for not uploading on time last week, but today we've got a very special guest with us. She will introduce herself shortly, and we're still on the role of the creative industry in creating decent jobs for the youth in Africa. And we still want to hear from creatives across the African continent to rather give us their proposed solutions, how we can shift the perspectives of young people to leveraging more on the creative sector. So today, we have our guest from Kenya who just introduced herself and tell us who she is, where she's from, and what she does.
Okay. Hi, Muthoni Mimi. I am a performing artist that is acting, poetry, singing. I'm a singer-songwriter. We have started a group called the Hippie Circle with a friend of mine. And the goal of the Hippie Circle is to bring together or to put up a community of artists, that is singer-songwriters, photographers, videographers, designers, to come up with art that can change our view of Africa, our view of ourselves, and the industry in general.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I also do crafts. I make my own jewelry.
Oh, wow.
Got this.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's me.
Lovely.
I guess.
I love what you said about you want to shift the view of Africa with the work that you do. I'd like you to just take us through your journey. How did you start as a poet, as a singer-songwriter? Like, where did it all begin and when?
Okay, so with singing songwriting, I used to have this thing when I was little, like 9, 8. I would write these weird songs. I found them the other day and I could not stop laughing. God damn. Anyways, so I started when I was really young, but it wasn't really encouraged for me to pursue a career in art, from school especially. So I kind of just left it in the sidelines and focused more on acting, because again, that was accepted. It was part of the curriculum. So I focused on acting. Then with poetry, I only started in 2017. Yeah, in 2017, I have a lot of friends who are poets. So I used to attend a lot of meetings with poets and listen to them talking, listen to them planning shows there. And with time, I felt drawn to writing. I always was like, how the hell do you write poetry? Like, how do you bare your soul in front of the entire world?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's when I started writing poetry. And performing, I just started this year around June is when I started doing live performances.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's very amazing. So I'd also like to, you said something about you had to move away from the creative arts. Why is that? Can you speak more on that? Is it something that maybe is in our African communities that we growing up, we're told not to direct our focus into creative arts? Can you just run us through that?
Okay, for me, it was both. Okay, both of my parents do a little bit of art. Yeah. So it's okay it was okay for me to pursue art, but then not as a career. I was encouraged more. I think it's an African thing, where you have to focus on, like, you have your career and then your art is your hobby or your side gig.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And also school, they weren't so keen on like growing you as an artist. It was always science, math, English, like do the work, get the grades, get the office job.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So you feel that the African community, or in our African homes, we rather don't encourage art. We want to direct our focus into these office collar jobs where we have to be doctors and lawyers. Hello, I think I lost you there.
Sorry, I got cut off a bit.
No worries. I was just saying that you believe you think you do you think that it's in our African cultures or other communities that we are rather forced or rather directed into these college jobs where we have to be doctors and lawyers and yeah, those jobs. I don't have anything against them, but like why do you think that's so? Because we've got a lot to showcase in terms of art, but like here we are in these communities where these African communities where we tell kids that you need to go to school, you need to be a doctor, you need to be a lawyer and so forth. Why do you think that? Where does that come from?
I have a theory that it all kind of stems from the colonial days when the only time you were safe in terms of your financial how do I but financially, the only time you were safe financially is if you work an office job. Art wasn't really something that you could go out there and get paid for, I don't think, during the colonial times. So if you wanted to get paid, you become a doctor, you become a lawyer, you become a teacher, a job that's like given by the government or something, so that at the end of the day, you have a salary. At the end of the month, your family eats, your family has a place to stay. So I guess in a way that that was kind of passed down to our parents and then to us in terms of like, you must stay safe. That's why they keep on reiterating the idea of like, it's a hobby. I don't mind you doing your art, but then it's a side thing. Have something that'll keep you safe. I think that's the idea behind it.
Oh wow, no, I get it. Like I get it. And this leads me into my next question. Like you said, you spoke on security. Then the reason why we were directed into these into security, these financially secure jobs. Maybe you can just tell us what are some of the challenges that you face as an artist, like in terms of do you get paid for your gigs? Because I know so that some artists talk about not getting paid, so what are some of the challenges that you face?
Okay, I'll start with acting because that's the one that I've been in the longest, which also kind of trickles down to poetry. Is a lot of people do not want to pay their artists. You will go to someone and they'll be like, I have this idea, I would like you to participate. But then when it comes time for you to talk about money, suddenly it becomes something to do with exposure or that they're going to connect you or you'll be able to network with other creatives and all that instead of payment. And a lot of artists, myself included, I've found myself in situations where I've had to like decline, I've had to learn to decline offers to perform in places, especially if I feel like as an artist, I won't gain as much as I would have. Because there are shows where you go there and you want to perform just for the love of arts, like you just feel it's an open mic, let me go do my thing. But then there's a some gigs where it's you can clearly see it's a corporate event or it's something that should be paid for. And so when you start asking for money, they start looking at you as if you're only after the money, as if artists don't have, rent to pay and food to eat. And it's still taking me a while to get that courage to keep saying no, like if I feel that someone's not valuing my time as an artist.
Oh wow, valuing your time as an artist, because you have this craft where you create and then somebody just doesn't want to pay you and your time as well, because you are taking your time out to go out and perform your heart out. And this is my second last question to you. As an artist, were you impacted by the pandemic? Like, how did the pandemic have an impact on you directly as an artist?
Okay, so let me start with it helped me at the same time, it's kind of tied me down because when the pandemic started, I went to school to study psychology. Yeah. So I was finishing up my internship at a maternity hospital when the pandemic hits Kenya. And I was just starting out singing, songwriting. I was just starting out to rekindle my love for these things. And I was so excited, like, oh my God, I'm going to actually be able to perform my songs live, in front of an audience. I'm going to go showcase my work. And then the government announces, oh, there's a lockdown. Oh, you can't go outside, no events. And then they limit the number of people. So it was very, very difficult for me to like put out my art. But then I also got an opportunity to learn how to like engage with an audience online, and to interact with creatives. For example, if the pandemic had not happened, I probably would not have been able to meet you, or right, or perform in other open mic sessions. I've done one in Japan, in New York, and in Beirut, in Lebanon. Yes. So it's been great because I've been able to meet so many people that were locked down together with me in the pandemic and create art and just do amazing things.
Oh, like I love what you said about the pandemic also was an opportunity for you to engage with the online community, which is something very amazing that I feel like many artists walk away with, because now we have virtual concerts. We've got, everything is virtual and you can reach a whole lot of people, because we were just limited to just maybe you're reaching that audience in Kenya. Now, because you're online, you reach people in the UK, in South Africa, everywhere. So I feel as artists, many of us did leverage of the pandemic, and we jumped into the digital space. Now we capitalized on it, which is something that's very awesome for us, that we can look back and say that, oh wow, our audiences now are way larger compared to what they were before. And my second last question is, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as the woman who performed her art with all her who gave her all to her art. I want to be remembered as the woman who, as an artist who helped people find their voice by finding her own. Because for me, my art is about finding that inner voice that I've lived my life. I feel like I've lived my life being shut down and shut up. And a lot of people they haven't learned to express what they truly feel. So I feel like I want to be remembered as the person who helps people find that voice and embrace it and scream it out loud. Someone who will change the perception of people of the continent of Africa and of our identity as Africans.
Oh, wow. I love what you said about our identity as Africans, because what sets us apart is our culture. And, if we shape it as well, like we're also shaping our identity. So I'm just going to put you on the spot right now. Do you want to like hit us a line with the song? One of your songs, just literally 2 seconds, like just give us a jam. Yours, produced by you, written by you. Just sing us a song. Just give us like for 2 minutes, sing us a song.
Okay. So this one came out in 2021. Yeah, it's on the YouTube page from the Hippie Circle. Just going to sing like the chorus parts.
Yes.
Rosemary bush growing by the window, sun shining bright, rising from the east. Born in a manger, we adore a hero. Get on your knees and bow. And my skin's the color of the earth. I've seen the miracle of birth, and I've tried for whatever it's worth. Don't blame me. And my skin's the color of the earth, and I've seen the miracle of birth. I've tried for whatever it's worth, so don't blame me.
Amazing. I love it. I love your voice. You've got this soulful, yeah, like you've got this soulful vibe. Like I really, really love it. Like, oh, Mimi, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for the work that you're doing. Once again, it's always very delightful for me, or rather important, to thank artists for creating, because creating is not an easy journey when you have to just sit there and work on your craft. It's not easy. So when you work on your craft and give it, serve it to this world, it's a blessing. So thank you so much for your craft. Thank you for your time. And we can't wait to hear more of you, more from you, your songs, your poetry, everything that you do. We will be on the lookout. Thank you so much. And you were our conversation aid. Thank you so much, Mimi.
I also like to thank you for this. Thank you so much for this project and for giving a voice to artists all across Africa, for connecting us. Just thank you. You're doing amazing.
Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you so much.
Karibu.